Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Alcott channel. I'm not alone, I'm here with Alan Tobin, we've both just done the kickoff. Go and check that out if you want to not really hear about the game, but just weird conversation, which we've been doing for the last couple of hours. But I thought I'd try, and I've literally just said to the guys here, I don't know really how to do a reaction to this game, but we're going to give it a go. Alan's obviously a Liverpool fan. It was so boring, wasn't it?
It really was boring. It was one of those games where both teams looked like they were actually afraid to take a chance. Very cagey in midfield. Both just didn't really. I don't know was it a legs issue? What was wrong with both teams? Obviously, both teams played Champions League during the week.
Yeah.
It's really hard to describe, and I'm sorry for ruining this on your channel.
No. I think
we bar the penalty. There's not really much to talk about.
Yeah, I think what you've seen here is you've seen two very good teams, two very good defences, and a Man City team that the way they defend is by controlling the ball and controlling the game and controlling the pace of their game. And I think Guardiola did that very well in the way that he set out the team. They were worried about going to Anfield, getting blitzed in the first 15 minutes. That's certainly my opinion on it. And that's what Liverpool wanted to do, but I don't think Liverpool could do it because I think you're right. I think they've had such a tough run of games. I think if Liverpool play Man City in 4 or 5 weeks when they've maybe got the Champions League games out of the way, then this might be a different game with a different tempo. Liverpool did come out and try and show real pace and intent, and you had those midfield three who are going to work so hard. But, yes, Loz?
You guys did.
Doing a reaction, come in.
Oh, okay.
But we're just saying how boring the game was. But I just think it was one of those where it was a bit of a stalemate. But I think for the league, what's great is that Mahrez missed that penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also great for Man City that Mahrez missed that penalty because it means that next time players can go, do you remember the... Yeah. Fuck off.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, so you would have seen, if you were watching the game, the bit of drama. Jesus wanted the penalty and thought he was going to get it, but then Mahrez was like, not on my watch.
My big question is, how is Mahrez so powerful within that team already that he can override a player who's an actual striker?
So true.
Is the starting player for Brazil, yeah, ahead of Firmino, ahead of his biggest rival, and go, I've got this.
Yeah. And he didn't even win the penalty.
No,
he didn't.
It was Sane who won it, and you can't say Sane's senior enough to say I'll take it here. He wouldn't be one of the conventional guys. They're unlucky that Aguero wasn't on the pitch anymore at that point, I think.
Yeah.
I think from a neutral point of view, I think it's great. I know from my point of view, I'd really like to win the game and go 2 points later. But from a neutral point of view, it must be fantastic to see 3 teams on 19 points, and there's actually a title race for once.
Here's my thing as a Liverpool fan right now. I'm worried a little bit with the way that Liverpool look. Thanks.
Come here, you.
I'm a little worried with the way that Liverpool look in the... I thought you put on mic. I'm a little worried with the way that Liverpool look in that they don't look as confident as they did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that front three is really struggling to click at the moment. It's not... They just seem to be waiting that half second too much, and the chance is gone. It's... I wouldn't say it's worrying. I just...
Isn't that part of the test that this team has to go through this season? There's going to be like today. If I was a Liverpool fan, I would think, okay, yeah, we're at home, we want to be winning these games, but we could have lost the game. And with the fixtures that you've got, maybe it's easy to go right. It's easy to look at it really broadly and go, oh no, we're not going to be able to play them at home in March or whenever it is. But sometimes you just got to take the points as they come. And Man City haven't won that game.
In hindsight, if you told me for our first 8 games, if we'd have won 6 and drawn 2, I'd have absolutely bitten the hand off you. I think you would agree with me too, considering the fixtures we've had.
Because you can also say, as Liverpool fans, you wouldn't have thought yourself... You wouldn't have thought we'll be on the same number of points as City are at this point. And, City have had the difficult game against Wolves, etc., etc. I think you'd be very happy. And also... I guess the difference is City looks so dominant, and I don't feel that Liverpool look as dominant right now, and that's my worry. But we've now got a series of games where it's not PSG or whoever. That is the time for Liverpool to recraft that and grind out what they need to do.
And Jurgen Klopp has done. He hasn't rotated as much as he has done last year, so he's constantly been starting that same. I think Henderson and Keita are the only 2 that have really rotated. So he's been using that same 12.
Can't wait to get Fabinho.
The whole time.
The
whole time.
He hasn't used it at all, is he?
You have the international break, and now you look at we've Cardiff and we have, I think it's Huddersfield our next 2 games. So you can see he may be looking for the second half of the season. Say, oh, I'm going to use the squad.
I also think he just thinks Fabinho doesn't read the game in the way he wants him to yet, and he's trying to train him to get to that point. A bit like when the other initial signings came in.
Yeah.
Midfield for him is the hardest one to play.
Yeah.
If you got a front, you can use the instinct and those sorts of things. These guys need to be able to rotate. They need to be able to see when someone else goes forward and doesn't. And I don't think it's because he's a poor player. He's still going away and playing with Brazil and
He's 100% not a bad player. It's just a system that Klopp plays. Like Oxlade-Chamberlain says when he came to Liverpool, it was like learning to play football all over again.
Yeah.
It's such a different system, and he demands so much from his players, both tactically and physically. It must be really hard to learn. I'd struggle to do it. Massive.
Having said that, I still think City looked like the better side today by quite a distance.
I think it's going to. I reckon their Liverpool's goal difference won't be anywhere near Man City's, but that doesn't mean that they can't win the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think they're gonna. Man City are gonna time and again win 5-6-0 against teams, but again, you can only get 3 points each game, and so Liverpool, I think there's going to be periods in the season where you just got to kind of hang in there, and you've got a defence that's going to allow you to hang in there this year. But overall, I still think Man City have. Both teams will be happy, won't they? I think.
I've really been impressed with us defensively this year. I think Alisson's a massive signing. He proved during the week that he's worth every penny of that £67 million we paid. He just brings a sense of calmness to that back four, and obviously the addition of Van Dijk. He's just a Rolls Royce of a footballer, really. Just so calming, and what he's done to the likes of, say, a Joe Gomez or a Dejan Lovren or even an Andy Robertson. He just brought them up a peg as well. So it's like last year it was all about the front three. This year I'm so impressed with the back four.
The back five.
Five.
Yeah, Andy Robertson.
Yeah.
I mean, Robertson, I think, has been found wanting a couple of times in the last few games. Excellent going forward. Again, quite out of position going back. But going forward, he's fantastic. The difference is, again, I think City are just more used to the positions they're playing in. And there is a sense of inevitability about City scoring. And I think Liverpool need to get that sense back that we're going to score in this game, because 0-0s and losing 1-0 isn't going to help your confidence a lot. And I think it also helps the confidence of the other team, like Huddersfield or someone like that, who are going to go, we could hold them here.
Yeah.
In comparison to last year, this is my personal view, but when Chelsea were on the attack last week, when Napoli were on the attack on Wednesday night, even when City were on the attack today, I kind of have a sense of calmness now.
Right, yeah.
As of last year, I was like, there's a mistake in Lovren, there's a mistake in Karius, there's a mistake in Matty. I think a mistake here, it's like people just brush it aside and go,
yeah.
We have the most expensive defender, and for a period the most expensive goalkeeper in the world.
I still don't think we know how that front five, front six rotate and work yet, and that's partly because they don't know if you can integrate a Wijnaldum or a Keita as seamlessly as you could a Coutinho or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think once Liverpool find that shape, that's going to make a real difference.
I think the key is that thrust from midfield, that link from midfield to the front three. That basically what Oxlade-Chamberlain brought to us in the second half of last season. We really need something like that, because that's what made the front three click last year.
Do you still feel as confident that Liverpool are in with a chance of winning the league or not? Because as you did on, say, game 3.
I think we're learning so much about Liverpool each week. They're a year behind Man City. I see how impressive they are, and I see how far they've come, but I think it would be naive for you to say they're there yet. You know, until they do it, you can't really. I don't think you can totally believe in them, if that makes sense.
We haven't clicked yet. For me, it's a stupid analogy, but for me, we're a Rolls Royce stuck in London traffic. We really haven't clicked. That front three has not clicked yet.
Good analogy, isn't it?
It's very good. Thanks to the Anfield wrap.
Right, I think that's a perfect. That's as good as it gets. So happy out of 10. How happy are you?
It's like a 6 right now, maybe like a 6 or 7. I think the international break's coming at the right time for Liverpool, and also obviously next weekend as well. So there's I think about 6. I could be much happier as a Liverpool fan, to be honest. I know you're a lot happier than I am, but
Lawrence, I'm generally a lot happier than you. I'm always a 10 out of 10. Even on a bad day.
I think Liverpool took the end of that unbeaten bit of the season to mean something bad. I'm not quite sure that we've gotten back to that level of confidence we had. There was an air of invincibility about it, and I think they've dropped off too much since that's gone away. They needed to realise that was always going to end very quickly, and if we hadn't have started in that way, we'd never have got attached to it. It feels a little bit like if Liverpool don't have a perfect day, they tend to have a bad day right now. They need to stop that.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Alan, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on Twitter, Alan_Tobin. YouTube
Where
channel.
can you find us? Sorry, go on. YouTube channel coming.
YouTube channel on the way, hopefully.
What for? What sort of thing? Football?
I have no idea.
It's
yet.
got to be Liverpool. It's gotta be, yeah. Make sure you follow him on
Liverpool,
Twitter, and we'll find out what this YouTube channel is, and then we'll get him on the channel again. Lars, thank you, mate.
Thanks for having me, XO, and Yeah, XO.
I mean, they know who you are. They know who you are. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, then hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, as it always helps. And I'll see you soon. Bye.